but then a president in the democracy, Anna. You don't want to believe it. Then you have one. And that is typical of a madman leading a country like Ghana. Presidency, it has a definition. If you are using the presidency to play your stratagem to outwit your opponent,
now I believe to punish citizens.
Yes,
punish.
That is what he's doing.
Because obi otie Ekumfi onya ohwe. Oni
otiane to enye to a enka wo kromfosa.
Edi kromo ade Ekumfi president ni free so asem no eyesamfo pa. Na wo tie dia na say wo ya bod. Ni mi tie to na wo fa develop.
You can only react like this when you have a quality IQ.
But there is a muru na koso.
How many people are like you? Hey, you have fools who are his ministers.
Now
come on, enjoy from the rock. Yes, people. This guy that spoke, the Haruna that spoke.
But you see, Anyeko,
Anyesa,
Kuno, and when you can deny a whole group of people, sir, representation in our parliament.
This is this is a president who tout himself
after
a human rights
lawyer.
After you have denied those people, what we share. Citizens are almost sorry kwa adwuma ko bre oto ensu a tax wo so oye say ya yare be bo no kura no wa ma na tua ho tax no aka che say wo ma sheda se me punish
asem we ebu
chale
no emodu
chale and you when will be discusses
no emodu
chale
how parliament should have taken this seriously
to
impeach
immediately
such a lunatic.
Immediately.
Who is the president of this country?
It must be immediate.
Because look, Echnebi,
Minjano, Onana Kano, Cameroon, Onana Yashano.
What's our go bad name?
And so compare dear who open dear who Onana Kano Cosom.
Etiquara Ekufado is the problem.
Sad.
Because you see, if you don't even respect yourself, at least respect the presidency. Respect the presidency at least. Nama nipa who say, oh, at least Koku enye hana bibi say no ye beka no. No wa kire no kwan no. Wo dey fani say Koku Anyidohu. But Ekufado would rather go and sit and plan with Koku Anyidohu, who has lost his relevance since time immemorial. Koku Anyidohu lost his relevance in Ghana's politics since time immemorial. The fact that in an interview he exonerates John Mahama in an interview.
Okay, so
I want to know.
Yeah, you go to
please do.
All right. Okay, so this interview was done on Asempa FM, and you go to Koku Anyidohu the explanation, and when video no more. Okay, all right, okay. So you're going to see Koku Anyidohu quick one on Professor Mills, and this interview was done on Asempa FM. I'll be back.
Yeah. So that day, the president was billed to fly to Lagos.
Okay.
Internal he had given information he had given the go-ahead to secretary to the president. So when he's the president on control letters, secretary on control letters, or we are not assigning.
Yes.
So secretary to the president, Bubaku Menza, was given instructions to prepare a letter, now president in signing, to officially inform parliament. So they took on Lagos. So it looked like a normal morning, even though we knew that there were health challenges. No two ways about that. So it was a sudden something. And when it happened suddenly, yes, there were professionals around. So he was moved in an ambulance. The ambulance, yes, AMBULANCE, ambulance. He was moved in an ambulance. In fact, there's always been two ambulances on standby at any point in time. I don't know. He was not left alone. His security close escorts, including professional policemen, went with him. There was a motorcade that carried him There were doctors in the ambulance trying to do whatever they could do, first aid. And he was sent to the intensive care unit of the 37 military hospital. I repeat, the intensive care unit of the 37 military hospital.
Collapse our castle, and
he didn't collapse. Whatever health challenges began at the castle, and they stretchered him from his residence into the ambulance, as will be the case.
Yes,
you have to be stretchered.
Yes,
so he was stretchered into the ambulance.
From time our health challenges to time we drew intensive care unit. When I bear how many minutes?
Well, the movement from the castle to 37, because it was at that time of the morning around 10 o'clock. There was some traffic.
Yes,
quite heavy traffic. So we had to even the ambulance and the people had to move on to the other side of the opposite side. So we had to drive in the opposite direction to be able to get to 37 military hospital. And you will be surprised that in that short, the traffic was just so thick. And it's so ironical because President Mills himself, as a president, anytime we had to move out, say about free castle, a co-official assignment, his first instruction will be, you people should make sure that we use the road that has the least traffic. I don't want to inconvenience people. Yet that day when he was being sent, he was on that final journey, there had to be some inconveniencing because then we had to rush the option. So the president was sent to the ICU. Medical doctors, both military specialists and civilian specialists, were on standby at the ICU when the president was sent in there. But it so happened that God brings us out here to serve and calls us back home to rest. So God called him back. So this whole propaganda that I put in my pickup or my Ford is so ridiculous. It's not funny. But I don't know why are you telling the story now? Obi, there are times and seasons. At that time, first of all, in the first year or that particular year, Obi, one was too distraught to be paying attention to some of these things. She said, yes, when my mother died 26 years ago, maybe that was the first time death hit me at very close range.
Alright. So you see, when you can say we are saying nipa adwene Edam Bemwa, when he was saying, this is Kwadwosheldon who's speaking. Edam ne ba no drew Jubilee House. Okusheni ni abodam ni. President abodam to share ni abodam for. Then this is how they behave. Wabodam straight. Ekufado ya bodam ni straight.
This is a president of the.
And so what? We must take medical mental health seriously as a country.
When so Onipa to meet us deliberately that I'll punish these constituents. How do you describe that person? That may message that punishment.
No, look at can be a sadist.
What? But don't you it's a mental situation.
Disorder. Being a sadist, a mental disorder.
Madness.
It's madness. Every sadist is a madman.
Anyway, would you concentrate? Why would you
anyway, the last point I want to raise about Kwadwosheldon, whose mental health, was he taking it seriously and attend to him because he's a brother.
Brother man,
I'm sad to see. I'm a woman, I better say. Hating such a person on penipa ye. Now, Charles McCarthy, you know, where me the pa, Monsieur can you open me say. Oh, Quara, or your uncle Bonnie, a cell brapa. And you know, me no Kwadwosheldon who has some no. I am who say, oh, Bible say me and Tina for the Fortunabia. Now, see, I walk away theology course bia why sɔfo he's been ordained
also for kwaido
na o hwɛ sɔfo mekwa
no e fasted ye
Edion. Alright. This is supposed to be Obia. Or you're very knowledgeable. But I will speak about what Esedun Ketia said in recent times about Suku. Pepe Jimmy. Suku Pepe Jimmy. Adeɛ timi pepe Jimmy adeɛ baako pɛ na sɛ duro no nso yɛ de ma na ɔnom da ɛyɛ nyansa
efie nyansa
ɛno pɛ ne timi pepe Jimmy obi wabɛyɛ mampani ofiri abusua mu wodi ɛfa ne sɛ wofiri Mozambique ɛkura bi ase a ɛwɔ amammerɛ ne amanneɛ ni hɔ ɛna wabɛtena Ghana ha ɔman wei amamre ni amania ye adwuma wa ha Professor Mills wo koko ayi do hu untimi ndono nchen na busua
wanwa
kwesi besinata na wo ene no wafa Professor Mills se woni dwuma bi dia na wodidi obi papa din ho uni juma bi di wa asase we so a padafo bi until very recently na me dwen say one of the Addo brothers Emanibia because I was very convinced say ni dia Addo no ene the Asokwa associations bi until very recently onu ampokra na in a conversation Oma mi hu say onye but all along minimum kofo they also have a similar feeling like I did have and still they have until say maybe I met almost say no what must I say what did you ni what che minimum kofo kwabra omo didi keje tia poku di what just because they are poku. Now this one you don't bear any of his names. Only Kweku Anidohu Mills. You are even crying more than the bereaved.
That family.
But you know, sometimes it appears to me say Asama Makati Kano. It's a national issue. We must pay attention.
Uni ibi obi asede me. Say so kwe more than one kuku kwe no. Oka tire professor. Oka tire Ekumfi ado say Professor Mills wonya tabia.
Imagine
that Kadma so papa ko.
Yeah, fair deal.
Kwadwosheldon.
Then
I will just say me off for the tiptoe.
Why tiptoe? Where are you for Libya? A good one don't grow for like donkeys.
I will go tiptoe. Me say. I want to what they obey you ko obey you. Obey to do weji. Obubia.
So you ask about Nipana Olidi delegation, you know, and the rented people he took there, and a very criminal thing. The impersonation to impersonate as a family member of Professor Mills. It is criminal. It is criminal. By now, the family must take steps to get them arrested and arrest Kwadwosheldon to tell where he went to rent all those people from.
Yeah. Now, Now,
say, or you're Ghanaian and the president, would they allow him that space?
Private.
Now, to impersonate as a family member of Professor Mills It's criminal when you know you have a family head. And when or no when to me as osto you know crampona, it veers off family,
of course,
and becomes something beyond family. Because we are citizen of Ghana, Professor Mills becomes a bona fide property of you.
Yeah.
And to the, allow him that space. Say he has the right, he has the local standard to know why Professor Mills died. Now, Kwabra, what breaks the camel's back? The man who said who he needs a brain surgery. The fact that